Welcome back, brothers and sisters. I am Braden. This is Langley Outdoors Academy, the place where we not only talk about what's going on in the gun world, but also how we're going to fix it together. And the content that I'm going to show you right now is a new breaking report from the DOJ and the ATF, all in the continued campaign to show us how amazing Biden's doing against crime. Yeah, the only problem is they kind of confirm a lot of things that we've been saying about the 68,000 illicitly trafficked firearms. Oh, we are going to have so much fun for this. Responses are going to vary from the ATF all the way into actual criminal activity. Trunks of cars. This is going to be one you're going to want to send out to everyone that you know. And of course, everything will be linked right down there in the description box if you want to dive any deeper. Now make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn the notification bell on. And this content is brought to us this week by American Hartford Gold. We're going to hit it, and then we're going to really dive into this. The content today is brought to you by American Hartford Gold. And brothers and sisters, with everything popping off around the world, wars cracking off, we've got inflation issues, we've got stock market volatility, we have cash concerns, we have oil concerns. It's a good time to take a look and at least know your options with American Hartford Gold. They are dedicated to offering gold, silver, platinum, coins, and bars for your investing needs. Whether you want to do it delivered to your door or you want an IRA, Roth IRA, 401k, TSP, they've got options. This is something you guys should check out. At American Hartford Gold, they aim to educate clients about investments in the precious metal industry, strive to provide unparalleled customer service built on trust, integrity, and absolute transparency, while holding a goal of achieving 100% customer satisfaction. Click the link in the description or call 844-727-3199. That's 844-727-3199 or text Langley to 65532. Again, that's 844-727-3199 or text Langley to 65532. All right, beautiful people. Listen, there's a federal report out. It's a brand new one. And it, I quote, finds that 68,000 guns were illegally trafficked through unlicensed dealers over 5 years. Okay. Guys, what we're about to walk into is political marketing and posturing in order to further a narrative that the Biden administration is doing a lot of things to prevent crime in order to convince you not to believe your lying eyes. And then I'm going to tear this asunder because this is a joke. All right, we're going to walk through a few of the things here, and this was an article on NPR, but let me lay the groundwork, and then we'll start to pick up some really awkward points about this that they're trying to tout, okay? Washington from the AP. This was released on the 4th. More than 68,000 illegally trafficked firearms in the U.S. came through unlicensed dealers who aren't required to perform background checks over a 5-year period, according to the new data released Thursday by the ATF. Now, remember, and this is an important piece to this as we dive into it, the ATF redefined who a dealer was if you sold one gun or you made a profit or you XYZ hadn't sold it in 30 days, it was still in the original box. They redefined the dealer based off of the new law that passed, the Safer Communities Act, thanks Republicans and John Cornyn. That's what they're using as a defined not dealer or a dealer who is going through illicit means into a trafficking network, okay? That's one thing you've got to know as we go into this. The other thing that you've got to know is the Biden administration in 2022 destroyed something called Project Thor, which was following and executing the trafficking, not executing, wrong word, executing warrants and executing authority over trafficking networks they knew were happening in the United States that were run by cartels into Mexico. I've done multiple stories on it. And all of a sudden they stopped it inexplicably. And the ATF's not doing it anymore. But come 2024, when there's an election about 4 or 5 months from now, well, now we've got to talk about those 68,000 illegal firearm traffickers who are now newly defined trafficking because of a gun law that the Republicans passed. So that's what we're dealing with. Let's look at some of the cases and numbers. That represents 54% of the illegally trafficked firearms in the U.S. between 2017 and 2021, Justice Department said. The guns were used in 368 shooting cases. Now, you've got to know all these numbers and watch this to the end because we're going to basically do a funnel here. So 68,000 guns, right? Which represented 54% of all the guns that were trafficked. Okay, that's about 50-50 because there's 46% somewhere else in here. And of those 68,000 guns, 368 were involved in shooting cases. Again, 68,000 of what they're telling you, 368. That's 0.005. Okay, that's the percentage. But as we continue, let me walk you through that funnel that I was just telling you about, because as it goes down, it gets really odd where it ends up. Now, the second highest share of firearm trafficking cases investigated by the ATF was straw purchases, which is when someone buys a gun for a person who can't legally buy it themselves. Okay, that's criminal activity. That's weird, because all of a sudden, the other 46%, the second highest source, is someone walking into a gun shop and lying to the gun shop, buying the gun, passing a federal background check, and then handing the gun to somebody else because they knew all collectively the person who wanted the gun could not get it through the background check. So they bought it themselves on their name, which was clean, and hand it to a criminal. That's criminal. That's criminality. All of a sudden, you're getting a little bit different of a picture than all these people, the unlicensed gun dealers in the nation, right? Well, the funnel continues. Wait until we end up, because the lefties will try to stand on this, but there's no solid ground here at all. Check this out. The report also shows that the recipients of trafficked firearms were people who had previously been convicted of a felony in almost 60% of the cases. Wait a minute. Felons can't have guns. Also federal law. So the second largest portion of this is going through straw purchasing, breaking the law and manipulating gun dealers. And then 60% of them are ending up with felons who cannot legally have guns. Are you picking up the theme here? They are trying to dress this up as these illicit underlying dealers who are funneling all these guns into criminals, when you've gone from 68,000 guns, which they've redefined, into 360, I can't remember the number, hold on, 368 cases, 0.005%. Then the other portion is going through straw purchases. And of all of these numbers I'm throwing to you, 60% of them are going to felons who cannot get guns in the existing system. They're circumventing the laws. And they're going to sit here and tell you that it's your fault and it's the gun owner's fault, not the criminals who are clearly doing this. But listen to this quote from the report Steve Dettelbach is releasing, okay? Quote, "The data shows, therefore, that those who illegally traffic firearms, whether it's out of a trunk, at a gun show, or online, are responsible for real violence in this nation," Dettelbach said. In short, you can't illegally help to arm violent people and not be responsible for the violence that follows. Okay, you're talking about criminality, perpetuating further criminality, ending up in criminality. Again, 0.005% of the guns that they're alleging are illegally distributed through unlicensed dealers are ending up actually in crimes that they're talking about, violent crimes. And then the straw dealer purchases that are breaking federal law already, going to somebody who knows they are breaking federal law, in which case 60% are felons circumventing federal gun laws. I'm still waiting for new laws that are going to make felons acquiesce, because it doesn't exist. Last thing I'll show you, because this is really staggering, and for some reason they didn't highlight this when you're talking about all the gun controllers that are touting this, okay? Because it's all about headline punch. The report found the average numbers of guns trafficked per case was 16. People who got them through unlicensed dealers bought 20 weapons on average, compared to 11 guns for straw buyers, according to the report. So all of a sudden, we've narrowed down from 68,000 illicit gun dealers to people who are in a specific purpose going in to circumvent federal gun law at the average of 16 guns per person. It's a little bit different of a destination than the original starting destination of people who are selling their private property to somebody else. Do you see the distance from here to here? But all they're going to say is, look at the amazing things that we did to prevent these gun dealers because we're enforcing Republican-passed gun laws under the Senate Bipartisan Safer Communities Act. All the while, they have led you down a primrose path, and at the very end, they go, oh, well, it's criminals selling out of the back of cars, and on average, 16 straw purchases per straw purchasing dealer. Are you seeing what they're... Are you looking at this? And they're going to sit there and tout it as, oh my goodness, the ATF and the Biden administration and the DOJ are cracking down. They're doubling their efforts. When it's all about criminality. And now we're going to zoom out real quick and hit the point that they don't want you to know. This right here is all about rebranding and remarketing the Biden administration underneath their crime policies because they're getting smoked on it. The Biden administration has to come out in an election year and see, look at all the things that we've done. Look at all the momentum, the forward momentum we've done for all the leftist causes around gun control. But for the last 3.5 years, they've done literally nothing except watch our country decay. So now they're coming out in force to rebrand the Biden administration around crime. They try to do it with immigration too. They're trying to do it in all the hot button topics that are the highest levels of impact in the voters' minds right now. It's manipulation. I just walked you through the entire thing. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below, and I'll see you on the next one. I'm Braden. See you later.